In the first year that my wife and I moved into our small home in the foothills outside of Los Angeles, we planted these two plum seedlings in little barrels behind the house. As they've grown from little more than twigs into these beautiful trees, every year they've been my favorite marker of spring's arrival. A month ago, this tree was all skinny red branches. Just a week ago, it was covered in these beautiful white flowers. And now, you see the leaves are finally sprouting with the warmth of the new season. A couple of years ago, I worried that the plum blossoms on this particular tree wouldn't come. The season had shifted, and the days were already growing longer. The winter's chill was long past, and the branches of its twin were in full bloom. It had a canopy of lime green leaves. But this little tree was just a skeletal twist of wood. I worried because this tree has survived so much since we've planted it. Drought and summer heat waves that push temperatures over 110 degrees for days and days. Storms that have left this little one battered by falling branches from larger pines and oak trees. And when the creek fire tore through our canyon community in 2017, the fire was stopped just a few feet from the tree's trunk. It had survived all of this, and yet, in that season, for weeks I was sure that the plum tree was dead. I checked every day to see if the blossoms had emerged. My wife put compost around its base, and she'd even talk to it, offering encouragement, speaking life and health into its branches. Each morning I would go and scrape a tiny piece of its bark away, just delicately trying to make sure there was still green in its cambium layer, a sign that it was still alive despite its outward appearance. Even with that practice, it was really hard to tell. So we watered and we watched. And finally, after weeks of worry, when I'd almost given up hope and decided to pull the tree and start again, it blossomed. And more than that, its canopy grew in thicker, and that season its fruit was sweeter. And every year since, it has been stronger than not only its sibling, but stronger than every tree that we've planted. For me, this plum tree, it is spring. From death to life, barren to abundant. This plum tree embodies the season and more than just flowers or fruit. It shows me what patience and resilience look like. It reminds me of the hope and promise of spring, while cautioning me not to be too quick in forgetting the lessons of winter. Hermann Hesse once wrote that a tree says, "A kernel is hidden in me, a spark, a thought. I am life from eternal life. Unique the form and veins of my skin, unique the smallest play of leaves in my branches, and the smallest scar on my bark. I was made to form and reveal the eternal in my smallest special detail." A tree says, "My strength is trust. I live out the secret of my seed to the very end. I trust that God is in me. I trust that my labor is holy. And out of this trust, I live. This spring, I hope you have a tree or some wise, wild companion that can remind you to trust, that can inspire you in resilience, and can help you to connect more fully with the hope and abundance of the spring. Wild blessings.